I'll go tell everybody, pull your cell phone out. Watch this. Skip the ad. A young man was favored to win the 400-meter race in Barcelona Summer Olympics. This is that young man. He was favored to win, to be the best in the world. Everything starts out good. Isn't that us? Man, he's in the race. He's in this race to win. About halfway through, 250 meters. Disappointment came about 250 meters from the finish. His hamstring tore. He hobbled into the halt, and he fell to the ground in pain.
When I am down, and oh my soul.
Everybody else kept running.
Weary,
no one stopped.
when troubles come, and my heart burden be.
Can you imagine the grief and the disappointment?
Then I am still and wait here in the silence.
There goes the winner. Never looking back.
Until you come.
The race got over, and somebody else won.
You raise me up, so I
The race was not over for him.
Mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
He was determined to finish his race.
When I am on
It gets
your
better.
shoulders.
The pain was unbearable, but still he continued.
To more than I can be.
Can you see Paul? Suddenly a large man pushed through the crowds, fighting back security. The man was his father. See it? That guy in the green pants is the enemy. He was trying to stop the father from getting to his son, but nothing deterred him. He said, "You don't have to do this," he told his weeping son. And his son said, "Yes, I do."
You raise me up. You raise me up.
He's leaning on the strength of his father. "Well then," replied his dad, "we're going to finish this together."
I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up.
He stood by his son. He stood by his dream. He stood by his effort.
There's no life without its hunger. Each
You
restless
tell him, "Get back, I got this." Come on. His father wrapped his arms around him, seen his son, and helped him hobble through the track.
I am filled with wonder. Sometimes I think I glimpse eternity.
They did it together. The son finished his race with the help of his father.
More than I can be.
You raise me up to more than I can be.
Derek Bedman may not have finished first, but he managed to finish his race.
You raise me
Despite his pain, despite his tears, he was determined to give his all.
To walk on stormy seas. I have
Motivated by love so strong of a father who picked him up when he falls.
shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
What made his father do that? To leave the stands and meet with his son on the track.
Stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
It was the pain of his child's face. His son was hurt, but he wanted to finish the race. So the father came for him. God is like that. When we are hurt and fighting to finish, he comes to help us. You got a father that loves you this morning. He is ready to help you. He is ready to raise you up. But are you ready to fight the battle? Are you determined to finish your race? Don't give up. Jesus never gave up on you. I think the Lord deserves a better hand clap than that, don't you? If we could truly understand the struggles of our life, the Father is right here with us. The Bible declares his eye is on us. His ear is inclined to see, hear us. His hand is never too reach to reach us where we're at. And I find people so easily willing to quit. So easily willing to quit. Can I tell you a personal story? And then I want to get to Jesus real quick. I want to tell you a personal story. My brother, sitting back there, Billy, went through some tragedies many years ago in his marriage. At that time, I thought I had a pretty strong marriage, pretty strong relationship. And I'd found out what his wife had done about a year later. And see, then I thought I had really good advice. Did you hear what I said? I thought I had really good advice. And so Billy came over to the house one day, and then we started talking about what had happened the past year. And I looked at Billy. You know I'm real, okay? That's why I think you guys come to church. I'm real. I said, Billy, why don't you just leave her? Just leave her. You can start again. You can start over. You don't deserve that, Billy. Why don't you just leave her? You, my brother, said, because I love her. I love her. For God so loved the world, he loves me. And the enemy is telling him the same advice that I gave my brother. Why don't you just leave God? Why don't you just quit on this relationship? Because, see, we don't believe in religion. We believe in relationship. And you know what my brother said? But I love her. I can't give up on her. My brother had a plan, and he would tell me. One day, Joanne was our women's leader in this church many years ago. God is going to restore David. I can't quit on her. Billy lost his voice a couple weeks ago. A couple years ago. It took his sickness for such a thing as this. Remember when Lazarus died? Jesus said, for such a time as this, the will of God will be seen and shown out. Billy couldn't talk. Billy couldn't have the opportunity to make the millions that he used to have. And you know what his sickness caused Joanne to really know the man that Billy was all the time? She looks after him like a 6-month-old kid. We went to Alaska. She wrote his name in underwear, and she wrote his name in T-shirts. She wrote his name in socks. Bill, she didn't want me to take him because she didn't think I would take care of him. I wouldn't make sure he took his sugar, his diabetes medicine. She was so concerned about him. And Billy said, she held my hand today. Billy said, she kissed me today. Billy said, she's closer to me than she ever was when I was making the millions. And if Billy Martin could get up here and talk today, he'd say, it's worth it. Billy, it's worth it, huh? It's worth that he still. We went to a store yesterday, and the guy says, man, all the trouble you had, you and Joanne, are you still married? And Billy says, the advice that his brother was giving him to walk out and quit. And God says, I got a plan. We all want to quit, don't we, at times in our life? We want to quit our job and move on. We want to quit, get the car that God gave us. We want another car. We're a bunch of quitters. Come on now. If the 49ers lose today, I'm not going to quit rooting for them next year. Some of y'all Raider fans ain't won in 20 years, but you're still a Raider fan. Oh, come on, man. I'm sorry. I got personal. No, he said, it's a lifestyle. You know what he said? I ain't got any more clothes to wear. They're all Raider clothes. I wouldn't have any clothes. But I'm so thankful this morning that he didn't give up on me. He did not give up on the purpose of why the Father sent him. And he should have. He could have. Go to the Garden of Gethsemane with me just for a minute. I'm trying to close. I had too much, and I can't give it all to you. You know, let me get this straight though. Okay, let me just say this, because I don't want to bring a false conviction on anybody in this place. I do not believe in staying in a hostile relationship. I do not believe in being in a relationship if they are truly abusive to you, they've offended you, they've hurt you, they've beaten you, they spit on you, they cussed on you, they left you. Pastor will not tell you to endure that or live in that. I'm going to pray to you and you seek God's will. Come on now. You seek God's will. You don't have to stay in an abusive relationship. Come on now, get me with me, because I just put some of you in a bummer. No, I'm going to give you a way out. You pray just like Jesus did. I said you pray just like Jesus did. Say it again. I got to learn how to pray like he did. Because, you know, he was given the opportunity to quit. I was looking this morning. I said, oh, God, that's too many. When he was being tested for the 40 days and 40 nights on the mount, the enemy came against him and laid every reason out to why he should quit. And then what did he do? He replied back to him with a word. We don't have word over the relationships, over our finances, over our jobs, over our family, over our friends. We got to put the word in that equation. Come on, quit dealing with the emotion of it. Come on now, help me out. We got to quit the emotional aspect of our life. When we go in trials, we want to move. We want to run. You know what my dad told me? You run from California to Texas to your problem. Your problem's going to be in Texas. It just might look like a different woman. It might look like just a different man. Come on, some of y'all say, yep, amen. Come on. Come on. I thought I heard everything in the church, so I heard Albert talk a while ago, so I'm going to pick on him. I said, Lord, erase that, please. I know he's sincere, but God, just take that thought out of my mind. Maria met him and said, oh, man, he's perfect. He's big. He's built. He's good looking. She didn't realize the baggage he had with him. And the baggage she said I had, at least she admit that. And God's done such a great work in their life and in their marriage and their relationship. And I'm thankful for that. You know why? Because they said, I'm not going to quit this marriage. God has a plan in it.